Hi students, today we will learn about the classification of adrenergic drugs. The adrenergic drugs, they are also called sympathomimetics. So we can classify based on mechanism of action, based on the therapeutic use. So we will learn about how the adrenergic drugs are classified based on the mechanism of action. We can classify adrenergic drugs based on the mechanism of action as directly acting sympathomimetics, indirect sympathomimetics, and mixed action sympathomimetics. Directly acting sympathomimetics, they act directly as agonists on alpha and or beta adrenoreceptors. They are adrenaline, noradrenaline, isoprenaline, phenylephrine, methoxamine, xylometazoline, salbutamol, and many others. So these are the few important drugs which directly acts on the alpha and beta adrenoreceptors. Indirectly acting sympathomimetics are the drugs that act on the adrenergic neurons through the release of noradrenaline. So the released noradrenaline will act on the adrenoreceptors. So that's why they are called indirectly acting sympathomimetics. They are tyramine, amphetamine. We have a mixed action sympathomimetics. That means they also directly act on the alpha and beta adrenoreceptors, as well as they indirectly cause the release of noradrenaline, which in turn acts on the adrenoreceptors. So the drugs under this group are ephedrine, dopamine, mephentermine. Coming to the second classification, we can classify adrenergic drugs or the sympathomimetic drugs based on their therapeutic use. This is a therapeutic classification of adrenergic drugs. They are pressor agents, cardiac stimulants, bronchodilators, nasal decongestants, and CNS stimulants, anorectics, uterine relaxant, and vasodilators. In the pressor agent groups, we have the drugs like noradrenaline, phenylephrine, ephedrine, methoxamine, dopamine, mephentermine. In the cardiac stimulant group, drugs are adrenaline, dobutamine, isoprenaline. In the bronchodilator group, isoprenaline, solmetirol, solbutamol, formoterol, bamboterol, terbutaline. So we can use basically in the treatment of asthma, bronchial asthma. That's why they are called bronchodilators. And nasal decongestants, we have phenylephrine, nefazolin, xylometazoline, pseudoephedrine, oxymetazoline, phenylpropanolamine. PPA, it is now not used. So xylometazoline, oxymetazoline, they are commonly used as a nasal decongestants. And in the CNS stimulant group, we have amphetamine, methamphetamine, dexamphetamine. In the anorectic group, we have fenfluramine, sibutramine, dexfenfluramine. In the uterine relaxant and vasodilator group, ritodrine, salbutamol, isoxazoprine, terbutaline. So this is the therapeutic classification of adrenergic drugs. So we'll move on to the anti-adrenergic drugs classification. Adrenergic drugs means they act agonist at the alpha and beta receptors. Anti-adrenergic drugs, they block the alpha or beta receptors. So first we will learn about alpha adrenergic blocking agents. We can classify them as non-equilibrium type and equilibrium type. So in the non-equilibrium type, we have only one drug, that is phenoxybenzamine. In the equilibrium type, where that is a competitive alpha adrenergic blocking drugs, we can classify further as non-selective and alpha 1 selective and alpha 2 selective. We know the alpha, we have two receptors, alpha 1 and alpha 2. If a drug is blocking both the alpha 1 and alpha 2 receptors, they are called non-selective. If they are blocking only alpha 1 receptor, they are called alpha 1 selective. If they are blocking If the drugs are blocking only alpha 2 receptors, it is called alpha 2 selective. In the non-selective group, that means they block the both alpha 1 and alpha 2 adrenergic receptors. The drugs under the non-selective alpha adrenergic blocking agents are ergot alkaloids. They are ergotamine and ergotoxin. And we have hydrogenated ergot alkaloids, that is dihydroergotamine and also dihydroergotoxin. Imidazoline, we have phentolamine and miscellaneous chlorpromazine. First, phentolamine is used in the clinical practice. So in alpha 1 selective group, we have prazosin, terazosin, doxazosin, alfuzosin, and tamsulosin. They are of higher grade therapeutic importance. We will learn all the drugs one by one, but here I am making the video concisely to learn about the classification. So alpha 2 selective, we have euhimbine. And coming to the classification of beta blockers, we can classify them as non-selective beta blockers and cardioselective beta blockers. We know the beta receptors, there are 3 types: beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3. Beta 1 basically present at the heart as well as JJ, juxtaglomerular apparatus of the kidney. And beta 2 has a wide distribution, is present in so many smooth muscles. And in beta 3 mainly in the adipose tissue. So the non-selective beta blockers, again they will act on both beta 1, beta 2 receptors, and cardioselective beta blockers that act only on the beta 1 receptor. In the non-selective beta blockers, we can classify them as, again, the non-selective beta blockers without intrinsic sympathomimetic activity and with intrinsic sympathomimetic activity, or with additional alpha blocking property. In the without intrinsic sympathomimetic activity, we have a drug called propranolol, sotalol, timolol. With intrinsic sympathomimetic property, we have pindolol. And the drugs which are having additional alpha blocking property, we have labetalol, corvidilol. In the cardioselective beta blocker group, we have metoprolol, atenolol, acebutolol, bisoprolol, esmolol, bitoxolol, celiprolol, nebivolol. The another classification is also there for beta blockers. They can be classified as first generation, second generation, and third generation. The first generation drugs includes where they are older and non-selective beta blockers. In the second generation, mainly beta 1 selective. In the third generation group, which are having the additional property apart from beta blocking property. So in the first generation group, where we have the non-selective beta blockers like propranolol, timolol, sotalol, and pindolol. In the second generation, where we have beta 1 selective blockers like metoprolol, atenolol, acebutolol, bisoprolol, esmolol. In the third generation, where they have additional alpha blocking property or the vasodilator property like labetalol and as well as corvidilol. Both have the additional alpha blocking property. This we have learned here with additional alpha blocking property. And in nebivolol, it is having additional property, vasodilator property. Bitoxolol and celiprolol also having additional vasodilator property. Then we'll learn about the classification of the drugs used in the treatment of glaucoma. Beta blockers. What are the group of or the class of the drugs which are used in the treatment of glaucoma are beta blockers, prostaglandin analogs, especially the prostaglandin F2 alpha analogs, and alpha adrenergic agonist, carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, and mitotics, as well as osmotic diuretics. Osmotic diuretics basically used in the treatment of acute congestive glaucoma. In the beta blocker group, the drugs used in the treatment of glaucoma are timolol, bitoxolol, levobunolol. In the prostaglandin F2 alpha analogs, we have latanoprost, travoprost, and bimetoprost. In the alpha adrenergic agonist group, we have dipivefrin, apraclonidine, brimonidine. And in the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor group, we have acetazolamide, dorzolamide, brinzolamide. In the meiotic group, we have pilocarpine. In the osmotic diuretic group, we have hypertonic, mannitol, and glycerol. These are the drugs which are used in the treatment of glaucoma. In this video, we are learning only classification. The classification of the adrenergic system is completed. Thank you.